Tyler, the floor is yours, my friend.
Appreciate it. Real quick, guys, just want to really, as a hometown guy, born and raised in San Diego, want to thank you guys for coming and being a part of this today. It's events and organizations like the ABCA that give companies like ours an opportunity to come see a lot of different people and to connect to a lot of different people and to have the opportunity to meet face to face and provide you guys. This specific group has a unique opportunity, and I hope if you guys didn't know this, you know it now, but you guys always have the opportunity to come up to Carlsbad and spend some face to face time with us. But other than this city, San Diego, we have the opportunity to go partner with an organization like the ABCA, who goes to each and every pocket of baseball in the United States and continues to try and, get bigger groups, get better groups, get more engaged groups. But what this has allowed Blast to do is grow holistically with you guys and with a group like ABCA by coming and seeing people in different parts of the United States and being able to connect with them, being able to give them the face-to-face demo that you guys are going to get today. Pretty much the real story, because we all know that, companies like technology companies or vendors or anyone having to do with some type of accessory in the sport are always, subject to certain perception, which may or may not be always based in complete fact, but genuine, and we respect it. We respect the genuineness, we respect that this may be the way that you think, and then now we can actually understand the conversation, understand the words that you guys are using, connect the dots, and show you guys how this is going to enhance you personally, how it's going to enhance what you do with your programs, how it's going to enhance the process that you deploy in figuring things out, which will trickle into life. The scientific process of testing, prescribing, evaluating, and retesting has been alive for a really long time. Technology in general has always just been used to keep us climbing the ladder. Why not in baseball? Why not in every sport? And it's starting to happen, and you're starting to see this change happen. And so when Sheets says, adapt or die, there's different ways to adapt. You don't have to go all in. You don't have to dive in head first, but you can ask the question. You can make a phone call. You can type it into Google. That's technology too. You got your phones, that's technology too. It's everywhere. So really what we've kind of seen in a holistic kind of just trying to receive, right? Give us the true story, not the story that we all know that you want to say or that people want to hear, but the real true story. What are you guys hesitant of? Implementation, understanding, the data. How does it relate to real life? How do I use it, educate myself, and apply it to a lesson tomorrow? That's where we are right now as a company and as a team and as a staff of guys who have played college baseball, who've played high school baseball, who played professional baseball at some capacity, who played against these guys right here when I was at Fresno State. I come to you guys today from a pretty unique perspective, being involved in a company for the last 2 years, at the top of technology and baseball, being involved with these 23 teams. Sorry, Sheets, 23, not 20. I was removed from the game in 2016. I got released by the Yankees. I was with them for 5.5 seasons. And then before that, at Fresno State for 4 years under Mike Batesel. And then before that was at Vista Murrieta under Dave Legg, Mosiello, those guys. And then grew up playing in the San Diego Sting, Encinitas Reds area. My cousin, my uncle is Frank LaPena, who does the Encinitas Reds. So, sorry to go off on a tangent there. I just kind of kept going. But as far as history goes, I come to you guys from a 28-year-old perspective of being the athlete that you guys are teaching today and connecting with, and also coming over here and being subject to technology and understanding how, okay, me over there, me over here, how do those two connect with this in the middle? And this is only helping us enhance the quality of what we're doing, the quality of the words that we're saying, the quality and the concreteness of the objective, not so much subjective anymore. So why is this important? Why are we here? What are we here to give you besides the words, besides the experience? We're here to give you 3 drills that we look at and that come from 3 different areas. Can you guys all read those? No? Is it off? So these 3 areas are the areas of the swing after about 4 years of just going back and forth with MLB teams and understanding the swing from a rotary standpoint, from a biomechanics standpoint, not just baseball, but all rotary sports. We broke it down into 3 groups. Plane, the plane of your swing, the plane of your golf club, the plane of your bat, the path. And then second is connection. Connection refers to, your bat angle. Obviously it's pitching here. If this is my bat angle, where was my body in relation to this bat angle? Was I, disconnected, or was I connected? 90-degree angle, strong like bull. So we want to see 90-degree angles everywhere. All right, so that's connection. We can see it early and we can see it at impact. And then the next category is rotation. Rotation refers to how much you're rotating with the center of mass, and more importantly, how quickly. Rotational acceleration in G's. First thing that pops out to me as really being a catalyst to us jumping so far beyond anyone around here. It's insane. Rotational acceleration is basically the secret sauce that you see in any dude that has a different noise, makes different noise with his bat, makes different noise with the baseballs, just has stupid good pop. That's the secret sauce there. That stuff relates to that. But what I want to do today is show you guys 3 drills that focus on these areas and that also visually help you guys, and that at the same time visually help you understand how they're all connected to each other. Plane, connection, rotation. Like you close your eyes and you look at a plane, like a plane of a bat. You close your eyes and then you take that plane and you put in a body. Okay, now you have a disc and a center of access, and now you have a rotation around that, right? It's like close your eyes, go plane, connection, and rotation, build it up in your mind, and now you see the core of all rotary movement. And that's the beautiful thing that we've done here, is provided coaches, not only of baseball, but golf, softball, hockey, any rotary sport, with the core values of what you should be looking at while evaluating your players from a very holistic, let them be their own guy type of approach. But every guy does some good version of plane if he's elite or if he has some good results. There's some guys who have really good versions of connection and make it work. And there's some guys who are really good versions of rotation and make that work. But rarely do we see someone with all 3. When we see someone with all 3, and we compare the data to the big leagues, it looks pretty similar. So the fact is that, with these 3 data points, we're able to provide you with some feedback on what you are, and then also with information that's at the top, so that you guys can use that tool to not only give yourselves a perspective of where your players are at, but also to help your players implement a plan, with you involved to get to that number, right? And then this is the sweet spot. Well, how do I get it better? My plane sucks. How do I get it better? Well, first, for every single one of those, first thing I have to do is tell you what it is. Because if our definitions are off, everything else is going to be off. Core communication. If we're not starting off on the same foot, we're going to be off the whole time. So there's no point. It's one thing that I've learned over the last 2 years trying to communicate with a wide range of perceptions, a wide range of ages, a wide range of backgrounds, a wide range of people, is having a common language and really connecting with people and being clear. Whereas you leave things up for fluff, who knows how that guy took it and told it to that coach. Not up to that anymore. So we're trying to be really clear and really transparent and really, really concise about what we're providing, and then we provide you that information, then you start clicking the boxes, and then you start seeing where you can go as a coach or as an athlete. So first, obviously, we have this sensor connected to the bat, and it's connected via Bluetooth. I don't know if it's okay for me to hit baseballs. Yeah? Okay. Oh, So real-time feedback with the numbers, right? The coolest thing about these plane connection rotation scores is that a lot of like what you coaches are doing with external cues, you know, you can't get too complicated, you can't get too data driven, you got to use external cues. Well, this is actually the external cue for all 14 data points that we provide. This is the scoring system based on all those data points. So within plane, I can drop it down and see that my on plane efficiency number was 88%. 88% on plane of that swing. So when broken down, now we're actually giving you the information that is included in that score. We're giving you the definition of the score and the definition of the metrics included. So now when you start to learn these definitions and ask yourself the questions, some holistic learning goes on. You know, where now you can take this and be the coach and translate. This is my goal, is to really insightfully, like I want to be able to draw a picture here with this information for you guys. And it's got to be third grade. You're flipping the book. As it's flipping pages, it's playing the picture. That's what I have to do today. And that's what you guys have to be able to do to your 10-year-olds, to your 15-year-olds, to your 18-year-olds. Because me as an 18-year-old college baseball athlete, I did not engage, digest anything. Got into pro ball, same thing. Not until some stuff happened to me personally, here and here, did I understand where this stuff actually plays a bigger role. Is eliminating the fact that you have a mechanical flaw. Some guys think things are going wrong here. Well, it's got to be mechanical. It always doesn't have to be mechanical. Actually, what you don't say, or what you look at before you say something, or how you think about it before you say it, is a lot like saying the right thing. Not saying something is a lot like saying the right thing. I've heard that a couple times of this tour. So when you decide to, hey, I see something in this kid's swing, but I'm not 100% sure. Let's just throw it on, let's see what it says. And if I was the coach in that scenario, I would be using my external cues and looking at the data myself to understand if these things are changing him or not, you know? So you're able to really start to use this product in a plethora of different ways. And I don't want to get too far off on the tangent, but the first drill that we're going to give you guys, and sorry, we should show you guys this before we move on. If it's not data, if it's just numbers, right, and you want to give kids visuals, you can click on this 3D swing trace button, and pops a 3D swing trace of that swing. So if it's not data, it's a 3D swing trace, and you're able to use that in live mode as well. So you're coupling both data and visual as a feedback tool. So let's put this over here for a second.
Question. You said on plane, that's an average downward plane of a major league fastball at 8 to 9 degrees. You said you're 88% on plane. That's not level. Are you talking about plane through the path of the ball?
Again, like this is a great example, guys, of definitions of what something is leading to different places, right? So great question. Thank you for asking. We are referring to the amount of on plane you are to your body, not to the pitch, right? I can be on plane and negative, and this ball's coming in that way. Well, those two planes aren't agreeing. So we don't measure the ball. No ball. So no, you're not on plane to the pitch. It's not telling you you're on plane to a pitch. You're on plane with your body. Like biomechanically, we can see some things that I'll get into in a minute. But again, a huge point. Make sure the definition of what you're talking about is agreed upon, or else things can go some crazy ways. Crazy ways.
You just got the one sensor on the
Yeah.
bat. How
Yeah.
does it tell where your body? How does it tell where your body?
If you want to ask me that question in detail, it takes a little bit longer than a presentation type of thing. So we can get into the biomechanics and the accelerometer, the gyroscope, the sensor, and how it measures later if you want. But the first drill I want to give you guys, really focused on plane. And this drill is the PVC pipe drill, and you guys have probably seen this everywhere, right? You set up your guy just like he's ready to get in the box, middle, and you set it up across his chest, and you ask him how he's going to get to the baseball here, right? This is really meant to help visualize what the bat path would be, and then obviously making some mind-body connections with what your body's doing. It's really to help you focus on what this bat would look like without your hands, like the plane of this bat without your hands. So if I'm middle, and I'm trying to get to this pitch, I'm making a move kind of like this. So you'll see that, you know, you can start to see this one plane, this one axis, you know, with my bat. And then you can start to actually pay attention to what's happening with how I'm getting there. What am I moving actually? Am I moving my hands, or am I just moving center of mass? You know, loading into the right side and just getting there. So the drill is, you know, to have a baseball there and to set him up middle, have the tee stationary, and to ask him to get this as if it were his baseball bat to the ball. And you're gonna see him make a couple of adjustments, right? But the real goal here for you as coaches is to visualize, you know, if we're face on now, is to visualize this pitch coming in, and then to obviously relate that to the bat path. And then the variable being pitch type, pitch location, and timing of the hitter. We're trying to maximize opportunity here in the zone. So if I am a guy who is staying connected and on plane, but I'm late, oh, that guy beat me, well, my bat's still in the zone there, right? On time, good to go. Early, good to go. You're still in the zone, right? So you'll see that, you know, you can visualize what that efficient path to a baseball looks like. You can be the guy who's really not on plane, and that looks like this from a behind the view. That really points to this stuff being active early, right? So if you're this guy who is, and then you try to get in there, you see what's happening here. It's steep to the ball, steep to the ball. If you're late, if I'm late, the ball's by me. There's a hole there, right? Steep, 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 and then your body gets involved, whereas hands are not active early. On plane, on plane, on plane. Late, okay, bat's in the zone. Shoot it to right. Middle, shoot it middle. Early, shoot it, or, you know, shoot it to left. So you can have guys that are good on plane. You can have guys that create negative plane, right? Boom. Hands are manipulating, hands are getting away from the body. And basically it's a tale of two stories, all right? Are they sequencing correctly from the ground, which drops the scap, locks it, rotate around, or are they the guy that goes with their hands first and starts chopping wood, inefficient path, inefficient plane, leads to some other stuff too. What does that, like, how do I translate that for you? Well, in the world of process-oriented information versus result, blast versus TrackMan, they actually combine together to make a pretty cool story. On plane efficiency equals higher average exit velos and more consistent launch angles. You don't have guys spraying balls now like the Gator, you know, popping up, grounding out. Now it's actually right there, and they're more consistent. More consistent through the baseball, you're making contact more consistently. The average exit velo is up, whereas guys who create a lot of hand speed or bat speed with their hands, their peak is really high, but their average is really low. We bring up the average with on-plane efficiency, and that's been proven. So that right there is a translation for you right now. If you have TrackMan, FlightScope, Rapsodo, hit tracks, and you're seeing exit velo numbers go up when the more on plane you are, you're doing something pretty cool for your athletes. All right, and then also educating them at the same time. Next, connection, right? So if I take my athlete from this drill to, all right, we've identified you can do it middle. Next step in progression is up and away. Now what do? You know, what do you do if this is where you're able to get to this pitch, but no hands? We see the best be dynamically adjustable with two areas. There and there. So that this whole sphere around my body, this whole plane, actually stays the same the whole time. But this body, my unit, my center, is getting this pitch and that pitch. And if you're Mike Trout, you're getting low and in. Or if you're Nolan Arenado, you're getting low, middle and on the ground. Same swing, right? They're just changing. Their body's dynamically adjusting and maintaining strong, good positions, connection early, and connection at impact based on the pitch type and pitch location. Bregman, Altuve, Arenado, guys, Trout. I mean, you see them all do it. Obviously, it's a very, here and here is huge. Perception. Once you've identified the mechanical flaw and fixed it, well, that athlete still has to go apply that fix. He has to go apply that swing to a game where he's receiving information with his eyeballs and perceiving and either anticipating or being right there in that sweet spot of not anticipating but reacting really fast to something he sees rather than looking over the fence and being done before you start. Very sweet spot right there. I relate that to being present or to being the guy who's always worried about the future or the guy who's got melancholy for the past. There's a sweet spot in life and something that I got to learn as a 28-year-old, just, completely lost and now found. If you're not in the present, you're losing everything that's in front of you. You're not able to digest anything that's in front of you. So the key here is to just be present, and receive what's in front of you rather than trying to anticipate or trying to make decisions based on what you think might happen, based on irrational fears or thoughts, and they get us into a whirlwind of maybe somewhere we never should have been. But there's a sweet spot and it's super relative, to not being that guy that's like, oh gosh, you can see it. They shake and tense up. Or that guy that's just super rhythmic, ready to react like a freaking cat, but based on stuff that he sees. You got to see it first. So all this stuff is relative. I mean, I didn't talk like this 2 years ago, guys. I've learned this stuff just like you would learn from today to 2 years from now, or even, my job is to expedite the learning process. I want to give this to you in a month to get you where I am. But that second concept of connection, you guys understand what that is, right? Body to bat. And then if you want to go ahead and implement some drills behind that, we like to do the trigger fire drill. And trigger fire really is pointing at the upper body connection, because you see a lot of times that guys, we use the word connected, but this unit disconnects positively. Ground, pelvis, now core to your scaps and your back. Whew, there's connection there, but also disconnection. But if you see guys that are going like this, good, noodle, oh, I'm stuck, man, I'm too far. Well, that means you're not connected up here, which is where I want to focus on with trigger fire. There's a triangle in golf that you maintain throughout your swing. Center, belly button, triangle, rotate. I'm not moving my hands, but I'm rotating, right? That's like a center of mass load. Obviously baseball is different, but you'll see guys like Christian Yelich. They're just in the box. Turner, his hands stay in the center of his body. And they're loading, and they're able to, once they go, it doesn't fold and stick behind them. It actually locks, scap load, and comes with them. So I really like to focus on this part of connection of the upper body with trigger fire. And obviously that ties into your body with your bat angle. So the key is to really feel this trigger, fire, and really just kind of feel that connectedness of this type of rotation instead of, that guy, disconnection of hands getting away from you and being negative. Also, something really awesome about this product is that how many of you guys like video? Like video, like using video, like taking video, watching video? This thing with just your device will actually auto clip every single video that you take. Sorry guys. By just pressing start and letting the guy go. So I'll set it up like as if I'm just by myself, and you know, how is this information relative to how it's going to help me coach? Well, if I got a tool that's clipping every single swing into its own video without me having to be over there, I think that'll help you in some way, shape, or form, manually with less work. What are you talking about?
It's taking video and it's loading that they hit, right? You don't have to wait any specific amount of time before the next one?
No, sir. So, you know, just taking those swings, if I'm in the cage as a player, I take those swings, I come over here, now I press stop. What happened is it auto clips, like I said, every single swing into its own video. So each square is now its own swing video with data, with the 3D swing trace, with all the data you could be looking for. So at the very least, if you guys don't want to start and stop, cut, audit, edit video, use Blast. It'll do it for you. And then you get to replay the videos like so, have auto slow-mo, and have the 3D swing tracer if you want. All right? So, tool will continue to surprise you, but obviously a great tool to give you feedback in scenarios like the ones we're giving you with this drill stuff. And just remember, you can use it two ways. You can use it with your athletes, or you can use it without them. Hey man, focus on this. I'm giving you some feedback verbally. We're gonna test some things here. And that's what it's great for. You know, just understanding that. So that last drill, trigger, fire, you guys can vary that. You guys can get some rhythm into it, but really focused on staying connected at the top in the core. The last drill is related to rotation. And rotation, like I said, you know, secret sauce for me in my, you know, short career as understanding this data. Rotation and rotational acceleration is the best way I can describe it is this. You have two cars set up at a starting line, a Volkswagen and a Tesla. And they both have the same finish line. The clock starts, the Volkswagen takes off, and the Tesla waits. He waits for 5 seconds. And then he shoots off, and they both cross the finish line at the same time. They both got to the same peak speed, maybe 60 miles an hour, 70 miles an hour, but the way in which that they accelerated was very different. So we see guys who accelerate really fast and really efficiently, which allows them to wait longer and to see the pitches better. And then we also see guys who start creating speed really early and slowly and gradually and inefficiently with their hands. And they're like pushing across the zone. And you know, you just don't have a good opportunity to create some consistent contact that way. So the last drill that we give you is the step behind, really to help you guys understand that, you know, to really initiate some good connected rotational linear movement, you have to start from the ground. It starts with your load. So the step behind is really just to, you know, it's like the ski. Really helps you try to feel what that loading that right hip feels like. So for me, I'm just gonna step behind, get in that position, step behind, go. And then obviously try to focus on that rotation score, really feeling kind of this separation the whole time. You know, whereas you got guys, if you see that, there's some interesting sequencing going on, which should probably be cleaned up. If you're seeing the 3D swing trace and the path of this bat is, there's some things going on. If you're not seeing clean lines around a center of access that is perpendicular to that angle, there's manipulations in the hand, there's manipulations from the ground, there's adjustments that are inefficient. Obviously, baseball is one of the sports that is the most variable driven. But understanding this stuff from a subjective standpoint, it's no longer a variable now, which is great, which actually leads us into the right direction of understanding what the variables are. Not thinking that the swing, yeah, actually, it does actually let you know what the variables are, and you're the variable. Your words are the variable. How you coach is the variable, because you guys are always changing. You're always growing or trying to grow. The communication thing is dynamic. The core, the connection with the person, the understanding, the loyal, that real stuff is what braves you through the storms. Loyalty. The coaches that I talk to now are those guys who, like Sheet said, put the arm around me, and invested the time. And that's also something that I've seen with you guys. I came into this job 2 years ago, right out of baseball, thinking that I could come and, talk to guys like you and it'd be easy. Communication is not easy. Relating and connecting with the community, connecting with a group of baseball like-minded people, it's not an easy thing, but, understanding that it's not easy and then breaking it down from a process-oriented side of things, and then just understanding where you can get better. And where I could get better was building relationships, and that's what I started doing a year ago. And it's turned this thing inside out for me as a person, and for me as an ex-player, for me as a hopefully future coach in some capacity, and then, with me just right now. So, I hope that at the very least today you have a different perception of what Blast is and who we are in your backyard, which you guys all have the opportunity to come up to my office or our office at any time. And then, if you're ever connected to people you think that need to know about this, if you're ever, you want to continue to advance yourself, because like I said in the beginning, this stuff is really putting a lot of stuff in you that will never leave you if you invest the right time and headspace in it. So we're putting value into you as coaches, and while trying to just do the right thing and be transparent and build the best technology from understanding, what the best are doing. And our data scientist just got hired by the Cleveland Indians. So things are changing for us too. Just like you guys, we got to make adjustments too. But it's all about just being transparent and sharing information, and doing exactly what these guys are all about. And then providing you guys with the opportunity to ask me questions at any time. So with that said, does anybody have any specific questions?
I do. I'm dealing with 9 through 11, 12-year-olds with PVC.
Yeah.
What size should that be for those kids?
Yeah, so I want to make it relative to what it would be as if someone was holding a bat in their hand. Because if you have a PVC pipe that's this long and you ask them to make, an adjustment, all right? So the key is to help them understand what these type of adjustments feel like from the pelvic, and not adjusting like this with the hands, but actually moving the unit to that outside pitch and staying connected. I would make it, whatever relative to the bat length. Yeah. With the hands included.
Implementation. I've had a competitor of yours which you won a lawsuit against last year for years. And implementing this at a team level, feed video, every single hitting lesson I give, when we're doing individuals, we have this. That's why I ask you the time difference, because with the other one, when we put it on an auto, our guys have to wait a certain amount of seconds for it to process.
Yeah, it's because you have to because that requires calibration.
But how do you implement this? We work really hard at a team level when we're in batting practice in the cages that we have it. Is there technology coming where we can set up 2 sensors, one on a guy's bat, waiting, that it's easy for him to come and switch to his name? We're pushing the thing off. We're trying to put it on and it is the most inefficient thing for a team. And we would love to know, tell us how to do it for a team that makes it efficient.
Yeah.
You guys are the experts. If you're not thinking of it, think of it, because I don't have the time in the day at a high school program for kids to try to flip this off, another kid to pick the
We do it for a lot of coaches today, so if you want to,
It's driving us crazy.
yeah.
How to implement it at a team level and not an individual batting practice level.
Can I speak to that?
Oh,
so,
please.
because I'm at East Lake High School, and we implement it on a program basis.
But a batting, yeah,
At like our BP.
right. We
So-
want it in a BP.
So
and
the best way is each kid has a sensor. That's the best way. And
but then you're disconnecting Bluetooth because
no.
connect to the next
So
one.
there's a program that is offered.
This
by
is interesting, guys.
through this. It's a coaching concept.
Okay.
It's I don't know the official.
But this is the
program
stuff you have to deal with, you know,
But
the unique
it's
ones.
literally, I have a list of my kids on my roster, and Keone's up. I click him. Now his data will come up. Next guy, Ricky Tibbet. Click it. Next guy up. So now I'm just switching
And that
from.
Bluetooth automatically connects
And
to
Yep.
the
automatic-
kid
It's called coach mode.
without having to calibrate the
Yep.
unit?
There's no calibration in blast.
Okay. Okay. Next question.
Why don't we find some time afterwards? I'll be here all day, all right?
Okay.
Anyone else? Nope.
Are we allowed to use those during high school games?
Yes.
Okay.
Approved in-game.
Okay, it's approved. We're good to go.
All youth levels. In-game,
How about high school?
high school, yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I mean, when I say youth, amateur,
Okay. Oh,
when you say NCAA, that's the only,
that's the only one that.
Where can we
No, no.
point an umpire to tell, because we tried that last year, the umpire said we weren't allowed.
That's 'cause you did it with
to
Zep.
onto the bat. So where can we point the ump to that, because he made us take it off?
you did it with Zep.
Huh?
You did it with Zep, correct?
No, we had kids with Zep and we had kids with Blast. And we tried to use the Blast, and they told us anything attached to the bat that was external to we weren't allowed to use. And we were like, we thought this was approved, and the umps would take it off the bat. So is there something? Yeah, that's a really good.
Yep, and I'll provide you that in a PDF via email, okay?
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you. Anyone else? Good to go? All right, guys. Well, go ahead.
Is there any other common resentments that you get? What is the most common complaint or thing that people are not willing to
Yeah.
put in the effort to do?
So I can relate it to a lot like when you get your cable set up, right? There's one thing that goes wrong. Technology in general, there's one button that you made a mistake on. There's one step that you forgot. So every time in the beginning, there's some version of, well, this is not working the way I thought it was gonna work. You know, whereas when you first get your phone, do you know every button and every way to navigate and every little thing to go to and every shortcut to press, you know? So that, I would say, this is the biggest detriment to the people who aren't successful, is they don't give it a chance and they don't give it the time. You know, they'll be like, negative experience, gone. Never again. So those guys, you know, I've actually spoke to those guys where they'll see me in a fashion like this, a round two, and be like, damn it. You know, and I understand it, like technology, like we understand that there's blips here and there, you know, and we're gonna have connection issues sometimes. But we have made it a priority in our company's vision and mission to support you guys from a personal level like no one else. So we know that every technology company is gonna have issues. We know that, it's unavoidable. But we can be better at everyone else at providing with you the help, the personal help via phone call, face-to-face, to make sure everything's okay. All right? But that would be kind of up there for sure. And that's very general in terms of technology. Anyone else? I appreciate it, guys. Feel free to grab me at any time. I'll be here all day, okay? Thank you.